So if you are wondering how to communicate your feelings or your sentiments towards a particular zodiac sign, make sure that you keep watching because we're going to go through the love language for each individual sign as an archetype. If you are excited to dive into how each zodiac sign likes to give and receive affection, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. Hi, I'm Maren, a professional astrologer, current college student, and witch proudly out of the broom closet. I combine traditional Hellenistic astrology techniques with modern psychological counseling dynamics in order to provide grounded spiritual guidance. So as I run through these, I'm going to organize it by element, so fire, air, earth, and water, and I'm going to explain each sign specifically through its ruling planet. Pay attention not only to your sun sign, but any big clusters or stelliums of planets in your chart that are personal planets like Mercury, Venus, or Mars. And also, make sure to look at your rising and your moon sign and weave them all together because we are never just one sign. We were all 12 in varying amounts and some are more prominent than others. So be sure to synthesize together whatever applies to you in your chart. If you don't know your full chart, you can check it down below at the link of astro.com. I think it's important to know that we're not just a sun sign. That's a very small part of who we are as an astrological makeup. I also have full videos on how to know if your crush likes you back based on their zodiac sign and how to know what your zodiac sign, crush's kinks are or how to, seduce them. So if you're interested in taking things a bit further, you can check those out down below after this one. So from the official Love Languages website, there are 5. I'm gonna read these straight off of there. So there's words of affirmation, which is using words to build up the other person. Thanks for taking out the garbage, not it's about time you took out the garbage, the flies were gonna carry it out for you. So this is like encouraging words. Second one is gifts. A gift says he was thinking about me, look what he got for me. So, physical manifestations. For 3, acts of service. Doing something for your spouse that they would like. Cooking a meal, vacuuming floors, washing dishes, those are all acts of service, so pretty self-explanatory, useful there. 4 is quality time, by which I mean giving your spouse your undivided attention, taking a walk together, sitting on the couch with the TV off, talking and listening, so really entertaining them and their energy. 5 is physical touch, holding hands, hugging, kissing, sexual intercourse are all expressions of love. So those are the 5 ways. I'll be running through which ones are dominant for each sign. So before we get started, let me know your sign in the comments and anyone's sign you're particularly interested in looking at. I would love to get to know, who's interested in this. So fire signs are about action, creation, and independence. They want to make a mark and have a mark made onto them. So starting with Aries. Aries love languages are physical touch with a bit of words of affirmation. Aries wants things to be done quickly, directly, and intentionally. So getting to the point by touching them is generally the best course of action because they will initiate a lot of the relationship dynamics. So being direct with them with their touch, it means the world to them on your end. They also like being told very directly, like how you love them or what you want to do to them. So be very direct, specific, and upfront about what you really like about the relationship or you want to do with them. They'll be appreciative of it. With Leo, it's definitely mainly gifts, but it can also be words of affirmation and quality time. So for Leo, they want to be seen and appreciated for being just themselves. Leo loves gifts, especially personalized, thoughtful gifts that make them feel like they're validated by you and like you put a lot of thought into trying to impress and make them feel seen. Basically, any of the love languages could apply to Leo if they're coming directly from your heart in the love language that you demonstrate your personal attention. Keyword for Leo, attention. They love words of affirmation as long as they are authentic validation that is true personalized compliments from you, just not anything, really coming from you will mean the world to them. Leos can be known for just wanting attention, which is true, but it's when it's a mutual love, they are just as warm and generous as you will give to them. They want to return that tenfold, so don't hold back around them, especially with gifts. It doesn't mean you have to run out your bank account, but show them that you're caring. Sagittarius is definitely quality time and acts of service. So Sagittarius wants to explore the world with you and have you as their sidekick to really rule and explore with. So the most meaningful love language for this sign is definitely quality time, which does not have to be crazy or expensive, though they want the ideas to be, up the alley of travel and openness and things like that. But just make it authentically exciting for them. It can be as simple as a road trip for a day, or it can be as extreme as, a trip to Bali, but they really want to feel that you are wanting to be their friend in sidekick and exploration. They want you to hold their attention. So by making time for them, it really shows how much you care and you want to put in that work. And in the same way, acts of service that show how thoughtful you really are mean a lot to them. Even though they have a lot going on there in their head, outside from love, and they're thinking about crazy ideas, showing up for them in a way that is practical and of sense to supporting their dreams and that fruition to explore is going to show them that you're willing to take care of them, and by the same vein, they want to take care of you. Earth signs are concerned with practical, substantive love languages that aren't fluff, but are actually substantive. So for Taurus, this is physical touch and gifts. They go hand in hand for them because Taurus is a highly sensual, fixed earth sign. So they want the most dense physical manifestations of love. That's usually physical touch. Taurus, this can be really simple and really intuitive. They aren't one to do unnecessary PDA or things like that just to show off. They want real connection with you. So things like just cuddling or spending one-to-one time will mean the world to Taurus. And Taurus also loves all the material world has to offer, but make sure your gifts are, they don't have to be super expensive, but they're high quality and they are gonna be long lasting. They don't want just anything. They don't want cheap shit. They want something that really came from the heart from you. So make sure that the thought that you put into the gift really will mean the world to them in terms of you knowing that it is of their long-term use. Make it really authentic. So with Taurus, it would be better to be simple within your means of precise gifts rather than dramatic in a way that isn't aligned with what your bond represents. And then with Virgo, this is acts of service. And I mean, to an extent, words of affirmation, but basically you want to show Virgo that you appreciate their diligence and their hardworking nature. Be of service to them as much as they are of service to you. Wash the dishes for them, clean the house for them, prepare dinner for them. Being of utility in a really thoughtful sense is super romantic to them and kind of like a dry, it's what gets them into things. So because they spend so much of their mental energy thinking about how to serve you, they love it when others do the same, especially for them, because sometimes it can feel like they're running around the world for everyone else, and it can feel nice to show up for them and be of service. Words of affirmation that validate how much you appreciate them go hand in hand with that. So let them know how much you love them for being so considerate. Let them know that you love how thoughtful and humble they are. Be really authentic in how you love them outside of their utility. So Virgos can be really modest and understated sometimes, and don't hold back on reminding them how glorious and how welcome they actually are to be themselves. Now with Capricorn, this is words of affirmation and physical touch. So Capricorn loves to get to the point, which is why they really appreciate these words of affirmation that'll build them up and make them feel like they really are doing it in the world. When you remind a Capricorn that you really care about them because they've specifically, are who they are, or that you totally admire how they show up in the world, that's super meaningful to them, because it shows that you acknowledge how much that they are doing and being and putting in that effort, because they really are, whether they're sitting on the couch, they're working hard at doing that. They don't half-ass much or anything. They won't take frivolous flattery, they will sniff that out, but meaning conversation towards them is so the key to their heart. In the same way, just gentle physical contact can be really emotionally touching to them, not just physically, but touching them physically can lead to an emotional connection, because Capricorns can be kind of aloof or super guarded just as a defense mechanism. So even with those they love, they can kind of hold back, but they can also crave that direct physical connection so much. So be straightforward with your love and appreciation for them. Even if it takes a little while for them to warm on up to you, they will warm up, and it'll mean the world to them, all that effort you put into warming them up. With air signs, they want stimulation from you and they want opportunities to interconnect. So with Gemini, this is words of affirmation definitely, and some quality time, because Gemini wants to mentally connect with you. They want to talk about how much you love and appreciate each other. They want that communicative context. So when you can slide that into your dialogue, it'll really touch them if you discuss how much you really admire them and their energy. Speaking to them is kind of the best connection to the heart in general with Gemini. It goes from head to heart. So make them think about your relationship in the way that you use words to admire them. Quality time spent with them in terms of new experiences or spontaneous dates can be really meaningful too, because they run so quickly within their own head that having you show them how much you care and are willing to act in the flip of a dime, is that the saying? Just act like at their beck and call is really super heartwarming through the way that it's mentally stimulating. For Libras, it's definitely quality time and gifts. They are very concerned with social dynamics and about how their actions speak louder than words and other people's actions speak louder than their words. So actually taking time to honor them is so, so important for Libras. They want to know that they're your number one. They want to be that duo with you. They want to have that time for dates for just you two. So a weekly date night dinner is exactly what Libra wants. They want that repetitive romance, even if you're both busy in the other times of the week. So Libras also love the finer things in life, which doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just looking for a way to impress them and communicate your love. You know, a thoughtful gift is perfect for Libras. They don't want to feel played or used as well, so don't manipulate them through gifts if you know you might be that way in a sense. Just don't try to win them or buy them over. Understand that they just are Venus ruled and they love the little finer things in life and to receive those sensual gifts. So, you know, be playful and lighthearted with your acts of with your quality time and with the gifts that you provide to them. With Aquarius, it's definitely quality time and acts of service. So Aquarius wants to feel like they are seen for being themselves and all of their weirdness and their nerdiness maybe. So by spending quality time with them in the way that really lights them up and is uniquely to them, like going to a museum exhibit they're into, taking a trip somewhere that interests them, going to a concert for a weird band they're into, show your warmth for all parts of them by opening up to spend the time with how they like to structure it. This doesn't mean something like smothering them or spending all of your time together. You know, they definitely want boundaries and room to breathe, but being impressively considerate when you do spend time together will mean the world to an Aquarius. They also love acts of service that are inventive or useful to them. Make their life easier by running errands, by being of service on a project or something that they're working on, and just be impressively intelligent in the way that you show up for them. They want to be offered appreciation that they can tell meant a lot to you to commit to, so get them out of their head and a bit more into their heart. Water signs want heartfelt connection that immerses both of you in the moment. So for Cancer, this is physical touch and quality time. Cancer wants at its core safety and comfort, and physical touch reassures them and calms their nervous system around intimacy. You want to be really gentle but very liberal in how you comfort them physically, so offer hand holding and hugs often and don't shy away from that physical connection. They want to make you feel safe too, so they will definitely reciprocate if they feel like they are held with the same energy back, and it can be a really beautiful physical gesture of love in relationship with a Cancer like no other sign, the way that they really want to feel connected. In the same way, quality time is so important to them. They want to create safety with you, so do cute romantic things, like show them that you're thinking about them. They really want to be all wrapped up in you with that physical touch and that quality time. So generally you can't really scare a Cancer with thinking about them too much or with loving on them too much. Be safe and be accommodating, but the more intimate time you can offer them, the stronger that they will feel about your bond. For Scorpios, it's also physical touch and then a bit of words of affirmation. So Scorpio wants to fully embody their love with you in all aspects. So getting right into that physical touch, really going to that gentle, direct way of loving them is definitely a big love language of Scorpio energy. They want to feel totally trusting of you and they don't want to miss anything that is a part of you. So they're not big on PDA, but they do want to bond. So encouraging physical contact and being there for them in a loving way is super important for them physically to reach them emotionally. In the same way, feeling validated for being themselves through words of affirmation is really important, because being direct and honest about how much you really love and care about them is not going to scare them. They really want that vulnerability, that deep dive of bravery into intimacy, and they'll probably feel even more deeply than you do if you open up about your feelings with that Scorpio Stillwater run deep energy. Be really forthright and be all encompassing in the way that you both physically that you gesture and the way that you verbalize your demonstrations of how much you love them. Then for Pisces, they really love quality time and physical touch. Pisces wants to be in this feeling of unity and oneness, of universal love in this relationship with you. So by spending quality time with them that is unique to them, like one-on-one, just you two, you're showing them that you want this relationship to be this higher connection that they really want. Make that relationship your baby and something that you're bonding together to create newness from. Pisces can shy away from being the initiator or the one declaring their feelings, even though they have a lot of them. So, show them how you feel through action so that they can do the same and get to that union. Often they prefer to show rather than to say. So be energetically loving towards them by doing their favorite things with them, including them in your plans outside of just you two as well can be really meaningful, like bring them along with your friends if that's, appropriate and agreed upon and whatnot. In the same way, reminding them how much you really care about them through physical touch is important to ground them, and they want to connect with you in a way that's grounding and safe feeling. So offer hand holding, offer hugs, offer little motions like that to really reassure them that you are in this and you show your affection. So if you enjoyed this and you would like to check out my private astrology consultations down below, you can watch, or you can look for that link in the description. I would love to read for you. Also check out Rashi. Rashi is my platform where spiritual practitioners can post their services to attract their ideal clients. It's kind of like a spiritual Yelp service where we can all ground the woo and find our ideal clients and our ideal healers to facilitate healing. With that being said, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment down below any thoughts that you have about these love languages, anything you agree with, anything you think I left out. I would love to hear your story. Otherwise, sending so much love, and I will see you in the next video.
But there is one thing you're all